PM. Alderman Arledge.
Here.
Alderman Losh. Here. Alderman Guerin. Alderman Campbell.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, regular session, May 12th, 2026.
I second. Alderman Campbell makes the motion to approve the minutes from the regular legislative session of May 12th, 2026. Alderman Losh second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The minutes of the previous May 12th, 2026 meetings have been approved. We have approval of the May 2026 utility adjustments.
I make a motion to approve May 2026 utility adjustments. I'll second.
Alderman Campbell makes the motion to approve the May 2026 utility adjustments. Alderman Arledge second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
May 2026 utility adjustments are approved. So approval of the May 2026 financials.
Make a motion to approve May 2026 financials.
I second.
Alderman Campbell makes a motion to approve the May 2026 financials. Alderman Guerin second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
May 2026 financials are approved. Are there any public comments, sir?
Yes, ma'am, there are two. Aaron and Ashley. Step up to that mic up there in front of them.
Hey there. How are you? Good.
I was wanting to present some flooding at Sugar Tree to where it is rounding my house. Basically, I'm just wanting to present it in front of the board.
So what she is talking about, just to kind of give you guys a rundown, and Robert can kind of help, but Robert called the night that we had all the rain, torrential rain, and where we're putting in the new addition to Millbrook, he put the retaining pond, and the retaining pond was holding what it should have, but with us having the torrential rains, it did flood, which it caused it to go into your backyard all the way up to the foundation, is what I understand.
It went all the way to the road, from the back where the field is,
All the way
around,
to
all the way around my house and to the front, and also to the road. So it touched 4 corners of my house.
okay. What was the house number again?
349 Sugar Tree, and this is not the first incident. This happened a couple months, or at least a month ago, and Robert helped try to fix what they could.
Correct.
And this happened again Sunday evening, and then again at 8 a.m. Monday.
Yes.
So within 12 hours, my house flooded around. Luckily, it did not get into my crawl space, even though there was water against my crawl space doors where if I opened it,
It would have flooded.
it would have flooded it. But we were able to check and just quickly shut it so that way the water wouldn't get in.
So Robert actually has a meeting with the developer on Thursday. But we can also bring in, Andy to see what we need to do, because, it may be something that the city has to end up doing, because that is kind of a flood area up there.
It is.
Right.
So before there wasn't a big issue because there was no hard top, and as soon as you hard top it, it channels it, and then the problem we were having before is it was just racing through the detention pond and straight out the other side. So we actually had them come in, and where the holes are and the exit pipes, they actually put another piece of PVC, choked it down from 12 inch to 8 inch, put a piece of PVC 90-degreed it up to where it actually has to fill up before it goes out. But in the instance of Sunday night, it was just too much already in there, and it overflowed the pipes, and it was going through the overflow in the concrete box there. I mean, it was pretty wild. But the issue is going to control it on the other side. So it's built to design, and it's designed to do exactly what it's doing. It's supposed to fill up and slowly release it. Well, with all that rain, it's not slowly releasing it because, when we get regular rains, it does just fine. It barely releases it over time, and it's fine. But with the torrential rain, it's just not working as designed. So we have an easement between the Millbrook subdivision and the Sugar Tree subdivision. We have a main sewer line that runs through there, plus we have an electric easement through there. So whether we do something more to the detention pond or whether we do something in that easement to help mitigate the water from her home and kind of make it go where we want it to go. Still, it's going to end up a little bit on her property there in between her and her neighbors because there is already a ditch there with a culvert to move it under the road and away. But also it's pretty major flooding in the Sugar Tree area. It's more than just their house. It's also the low water bridge. It was roaring so fast through there, it broke one of our signs that we have for the height thing. So we just replaced that a couple months ago. Now we're going to have to replace it again. But also a thing we could look at is where it leaves town and goes to the west side of town. There is a lot of large trees grown up in this place that should be nothing but riffraff, and now is way overgrown. So it kind of, all the water rushes to that spot and it starts building up because it can't escape through these large trees and brush that's there. So maybe between the three, whether we do some mitigation to the detention pond that's already there, whether we add some channeling or some ditches back through there, or maybe it might be a concept of all three of them to get the water to evacuate the way we need it to.
As of yesterday or Sunday evening, and then of course Monday morning, the edge of my property, it has a kind of a culvert system that goes under the road. It jumped the road, and then water was going down the road to the dead end of Sugar Tree. So it's not draining, but then it's just too much water. It's also so much water that it's not, because it's backing up right there is why my yard is flooded. It is flooding my yard before it even has a chance to surround my house to even make it to that. And then right now, because it's construction, it's just red clay.
Yeah.
And it's just everywhere, including my fish pond. That is just a mess.
So I live one house up. I'm 347. So mine's definitely not as bad as hers, but
the flowing water, it literally comes so fast that we just replaced our privacy fence last year and it's washing out my yard. So I've lived in that house for 10 years in August and have never had water in my backyard. Now we've had the little like rivers in the back when it does torrential downpour, but this is we're talking like a foot wide. Now it's like 7 foot wide or more, and you can't even stand in it because it's flowing so fast. So I'm here because her house is definitely more important, but it is affecting my house.
And this is not just a little bit of water up against the house. This is to the point where it's almost over the foundation and getting it behind my siding.
Right.
And it happens so quickly. It goes from no water to, even when we have major downpours like the other day, the yards are not flooded. It's when this water just comes out, it comes out at such a fast speed that it goes from nothing to something within minutes.
Yeah.
The water started coming back in the backyard, and within 5 minutes, my whole yard and house was surrounded with water. And it will go down within a couple hours,
Sure.
but it's when is it going to stop?
Mhm.
When is it going to hide out and leave?
Right.
Because we were trying to figure out what to do, because we don't know if we need to try to buy sandbags. We don't know if we need to try to call somebody, pump water. It's just you stand there and try to hope and pray to God that it doesn't get worse than it already does or already is.
And I think my fence got washed out. Your house would be worse.
Absolutely. Her fence kind of
Slows it down. It
Slows
kind
it
of like
down.
aims it a little bit more.
my fear is that this later on this week we're going to get a lot of rain. What am I to do? Is there any kind of fix, or if you guys can't help, suggestions? Because I don't want to lose my house.
Sure.
Because this is repeating to the point where if I get damaged, insurance may cover it once, but this is a repeating issue. If it continues, that I'm afraid that my house is just not going to be livable.
Well, like I said, he has already brought it to our attention, so we're definitely going to look to see what we can do and how to move that one, because the water does need to move correctly. That's the whole purpose of having the culverts and the retention ponds and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to look into that and see what we can do to help move that water where it needs to go.
Okay. What can we do temporarily? Because, it's going to keep raining. I know
Yeah,
the fixes are not going to, they're going to take time.
It's going to take time, but is there any, especially before this weekend, is there any idea of any kind of fix?
What about Robert?
Sandbags would be my best bet.
Cleaning out down below.
Yeah, cleaning out down below, that's something that we can get done quicker than the engineering that goes into the drainage. We can go down there, we can contract someone to go down there and just clear all that out and to where there's no debris in there left. And you gotta start from there.
That is way before our house.
I mean,
They're
that's-
way after our house. So even if that's flowing nicely,
It's still
my
gonna,
house is already getting flooded before it even reaches that point. So
it's flowing so much water that the 16-inch culvert that goes underneath the street right adjacent to her house it's like blowing down like a fire hose. It's at max capacity. So that's going to cause it to back up towards her house, and there's nothing we can, to make it come we'd have to make it come faster away from her house, which would cause more problems down the line because you speed up the water and that just damages more stuff. So.
do you guys have pictures as examples?
I do. Robert has,
Okay.
Robert has taken a lot of pictures, and he actually had sent them to me on my phone. Because he actually called me Sunday night when he was over there.
Sandbags would be my best suggestion, just to put them around the foundation of your home. That way it'll keep your home from flooding. As of for the yard, I don't know. I don't know.
That's a natural drain down through there anyway, where it lays in there behind. That's
Yes.
kind of a natural, and then it turns, goes right between those houses.
I would suggest we dig something there, but with as fast as that water comes, if we were to
Yeah.
dig something through there, it would just turn it into an absolute nightmare.
It'll just
Because it would
make
eat
a
out
big
the,
deep ditch.
if we dug it out 3 foot by the first drain, it would be 5 foot deep, exposing utilities that are back there. It would just be a mess. So it needs to be like a something that's concreted or has riffraff in it or something like that.
So my worry is that property is not behind our house, is not owned by either of us. It's owned by someone else,
It is.
and he is not here to speak for himself. How does that work? If he says no, can the city override?
There's an easement that runs back through
That's
this.
what
So an
he was saying,
easement
we have
is
an easement.
is the ability to work, it's not our property, but it gives us the right to the property. We can do whatever we want in a certain amount of feet within that sewer system back there. And that sewer system runs almost perfectly in line with those power poles that are right between you and him. So we have an easement and we have the rights to that easement. So if he doesn't want it done, we can do it in the easement. He can't do anything about it. Which he has come to me and has told us to do whatever we need to do to mitigate the water, because it's also hurting his property, which is property in the county.
He's not even in the city.
Right. Yeah, so you've actually talked to the owner, and
Yes.
he said we can do whatever.
So the sandbags would be up to us, or is it up to the city to lay them?
Yeah, it would be up to you guys until we can get that fixed.
Is there a time frame that we can shoot for, or just?
As soon as we can get it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, we would rely on a lot of contractors, whether it be contract engineering or contract labor, so it really is up to their time schedule. We can do what we can to get them going,
Could
but
we extend that pipe out? Could we run the pipe further back? I'm just thinking, you
thinking
said
out loud,
it
I
comes out with so much force, if we ran it like half, or at least halfway
you're
back.
thinking about like 200 feet of pipe we would have to run above ground. We'd have to cut through the fellow who lives in the county's property to make it run right. Because right now it comes out, it kind of jogs over into the easement, and then just it's a river down through the easement there.
Okay, so it already goes all the way back to the easement.
It's
like
designed to
that.
go through that easement and then go to the corner there and turn the corner, but it wasn't designed for that much water.
Can we take the culvert deeper? Are you guys allowed to do that?
Behind the property?
Like
Which
the-
culvert?
Or not the culvert, but like the pond where the water's supposed to.
Okay,
go.
we could do that, but then then you're gonna end up with mosquitoes, because it's gonna hold
We already
water
have them.
all the time.
We already have them.
And then still, once it reaches capacity, it's still gonna flow the same. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter if it's 5 feet deep or if it's 20 feet deep. Once that pond fills up, it's gonna come out at the same rate.
But what's the realistic amount of rain that we get around here? Like, can we dig it deep enough that it would hold what it needs to hold?
That would not be a question for me. That'd be a question for somebody who knows a little bit more about stormwater and grading and stuff like that.
Is the engineers that's building the subdivision, are they not willing to fix anything? In fact, the city's the only.
They don't know about it yet. They don't
Yeah.
know about the second part.
The second part.
They actually did the work to fix it before. So I'm sure they will be willing to do whatever we ask them to do to make it right.
Yeah.
So,
And he has a meeting with him on Thursday.
yes, and I meet with him on Thursday, so.
In the phase 2 that they're doing, is that going to bring more water?
I was
to
gonna
the
bring that
ground?
up as well, because this is only half of the planned phase. So we have 30 houses being built right now in the first phase of phase 5, or the first part of phase 5. We have 37 more homes to come to the north of it, which is going to not only increase water amounts, but it's also gonna increase the flow, because it's gotta run further downhill.
And that's my concern, is because this fix that you guys are thinking about doing, is it gonna just only fix the phase 1 issue, and then we're gonna have to revisit this with phase 2?
I think when phase 2 comes along, that we will revisit this, and there's also choices like requiring them to build another detention pond, which will catch the top part and then slowly release it into the bottom part.
Because as of right now, what they're phase 2, the north side, it's on the hill, and it's on the other side of the hill. So we don't even see that water, even before the subdivision was going in, because it was just, we're kind of on a hill.
Yeah.
And so now this is gonna be that entire place going, and it's already cutting up my yard. My yard is still soppy to where I can't even walk through parts of it. So there's a concern that we get it fixed, and
Right,
we're gonna
no,
have
I
to.
completely. Now, if we fix it, we'll fix it enough to where it will withstand. Keep the addition. I was thinking that he had another retention pond in the top corner.
Not yet. I
Not
don't
yet,
think so.
but he was going to with the second addition.
There's no plans to, but that will be something that we will have to make
Yeah.
plans to do.
Yeah.
Because as far as it's going right now, this detention pond isn't even keeping up with half of his subdivision. So we're gonna have to revisit that and figure something else out. And
So, yeah.
he's very easy to work with, so I have no doubt that we bring this to his attention, he will get on the ball.
Yeah, I think you will too. Yeah,
Will
because
we
it was
be
really quick.
contacted?
Do what?
Will we be contacted after their meeting so we like keep it
I
in
can,
the
yeah.
loop of
Yeah.
what's going on?
Absolutely.
Do you have their contact information?
I have Ashley, I believe, and I believe Becky has yours.
Yes. I
So I will-
emailed you and called you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So we'll definitely let you know how that goes and, what our plans are.
You've got my number, if you need anything.
Solution is sandbagging, even though this is not our ordeal, having to
Yeah,
create that solution and not even knowing if that's going to help. So there's no other options for us in the meantime.
not right this moment. There's not any that we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any others, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, there are no bills to read, there are no resolutions, there are no ceremonial matters, so we have the report from Chief Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. So, busy month. And since we have started keeping numbers of how many calls for service we had per month, May of 2026 was our highest number we ever had. 474 calls for service last month. We wrote 72 citations and had 15 arrests. The overview of the calls for services, some of the issues that we had, or some of the reasons we have such a high call volume is property maintenance. We started really going around and hitting the inoperable vehicles, high weeds and stuff like that. We had 22 calls of where we went and stopped and talked to people about having weeds in their yard. We have not had to issue any citations. They've all been taken care of within the 5-day period that we give them. Inoperable vehicles, we have went through and counted 51 total, and of that 51, 34 of them have already been removed. We have issued a couple of citations for the inoperable vehicles, and there are some that are still in the process of, we give them 14-day notice. Hey, this is an issue, please take care of it within 14 days. Traffic enforcement, we've been working on, last month we had the mini grant for seatbelt usage, and that's helped with some of our calls for service. We work a lot of traffic, and here's the reason I want to work traffic. Number one, it helps us to prevent car crashes. In 2024, we had 6 car crashes for the whole year. Fantastic. Our goal is 0 crashes in a year. Last year we had 12, and we're almost halfway through this year, and we've had 3. So that's great numbers. That helps everybody. It also, when we work traffic, it helps us to take care of warrant arrests. We meet people on the roadside who have warrants who are driving while we're suspended and revoked. Last month we had 7 people who were driving while revoked were suspended. We made 1 possession charge out of a traffic stop, a possession of methamphetamine, which led to a house that we searched, and that house, we confiscated fentanyl. And then we also had 3 immigration arrests out of traffic stops. So I want to talk a little bit about the immigration arrest here in just a couple of minutes, but I also give you a comparison of some of the traffic stops from other cities that are fairly close to our size. I looked at, which is easy access for me to look at, Billings and Clever. Clever is down several officers right now, so their numbers aren't what they may not normally be, but if you look through there, I gave you a breakdown of how many citations or how many traffic stops we've made compared to those other jurisdictions. And we are considerably higher than the other 2 just because I like to get out there and be proactive. So the immigration results or the arrest are going to help us positively financially. We've had some financial issues over the last several years where our budget has not increased whatsoever in a 3-year period. So this is really going to help us as far as being able to overcome some of those shortfalls that we hope are going to happen with sales tax. So that's going to be a significant increase for us financially. And one more page. Nope, that looks like about it. Any questions for me? All right, thank you very much.
We have a report from Gage for the park board.
Yes, rain on Saturday, doesn't look good, so I'm hoping that it clears out by 4 o'clock when the event starts. If it doesn't, I mean, if the forecast looks pretty dire before that, we might have to we are in contact with the gentleman that is building the sports complex over there in Hawaii. And he's interested in kind of joining us to get our soccer league together. It probably won't be this fall, or it might be next. But he's going to come to our next meeting and discuss it.
Fantastic.
And then in lieu of a movie night in summer as another event that we would host, we've been talking about partnering with Heather Usher with National Night Out. So we're going to try and get a budget together for you guys. We'll still have a movie night after her event, but we're just going to try and help her out and volunteer, kind of get as many things volunteered and donated as possible to help.
Oh, that'd be great.
Kind of combine our forces and make one big event.
That would be really nice, even to have a movie after that, that would be really cool.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you. We have a report from Robert.
Not a lot to report on the building department side of things this month. We did finish off a couple of permits this month, one of them being Park Circle. I don't know if you guys know where that is. Go out sometime and check that house out, 306 Park Circle. Beautiful. It's one of the nicest houses in this area, if you ask me. So they really wanted to go up to it. So that's it for me.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, there is no existing business, new business, discussion and approval to annex in the parcel of land for Barnes Incorporated, Larry Barnes, also known as Buffalo Creek subdivision. This is the one going up on division.
make a motion to annex in the parcel of land for Barnes Incorporated, Larry Barnes, also known as Buffalo Creek subdivision.
I second. Alderman Campbell makes the motion to approve the annex of the parcel of land for Barnes Incorporated for Larry Barnes, also known as Buffalo Creek subdivision. Alderman Guerin second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The motion to approve to annex the parcel of land for Barnes Incorporated, Larry Barnes, also known as Buffalo Creek subdivision, is approved. Okay, so now is discussion and approval of the 2026-2027 budget.
It's what I've done. What I put in your books, it's total paper clip, and general water heating sewer. Each budget is separate. And I tried to kind of get a vision on it, which was really hard, what our sales tax is gonna do. So I stayed pretty close to last year's budget, because we can always amend and make money. This year, actually, went a lot better, a lot easier, because I got to meet Robert, I got to meet Micah, who I've never had anybody come in and tell me where they needed money. So that helped us. And then I just started thinking, this is here. Right? And I always meet with Travis on these articles. Of course. He's usually the first one we do. It's easier.
Unless the look is best. Clean streets, well kept home.
I make a motion to approve the 2026-2027 budgets.
I'll second.
Alderman Guerra makes a motion to approve the 2026-2027 budget. Alderman Campbell second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The motion to approve the 2026-2027 budget is approved. The discussion and approval of the new structures building proposed for 470 South Linden for Gary Blue. So this is the one he kind of spoke with us about last month. Yes.
Robert, did you have any comments? Is there any?
I'm good with,
I know you kind of talked to him.
my only concern is you have to give a variance on the setback. That's the only issue here. He wants some,
How close is it to the property line?
I would say it's just a few feet off the property line, if not pretty close to the property line. But where he's putting it, it backs up to a field that, when talking to him, they said they're never gonna do anything. They won't sell it. All they do is cut hay off of it. So it would just be between the existing structure that's already right on the property line and the other side of this property, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't, the only person it would be disturbing is the people behind, and it's not like they live there. So I'm cool with it, so.
Yeah, so right now I relocated, and basically all of my tools and everything I use for my business is in a horse trailer. So if I was able to put this building up, I could potentially get rid of the horse trailer. I'm sure you guys would like that.
This is gonna be something that has a foundation,
Yeah,
permitted, the whole 9 yards, so.
basically just a concrete slab, no utilities, and a pole barn. Something big enough to hold all my tools, and if I have a breakdown, I can pull in there and work on stuff is pretty much what it's for.
I make a motion to approve of the new structure building proposal at 470 South Linden for Gary Blue.
I second.
Alderman Campbell makes a motion to approve the new structure proposed at 470 South Linden for Gary Blue. Alderman Guerin second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The motion to approve the structure proposed at 470 South Linden for Gary Blue is approved.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, discussion and approval proposal for code enforcement assistance by Tim Mills.
Thank you. I apologize for my tardiness. I was coming from another meeting with another municipality. What I'd like to do is distribute some sample bids that we could put in for assistance for code enforcement for other municipalities in our area. We cover about 60, I'll leave one here for the absent attorney. We have done this across the country now for about the last year. It was fully implemented across the board for every one of our franchises. Officially in February. And essentially, what we're wanting to do is come alongside of municipalities whose law enforcement are maybe simply too tied up, or those that don't have law enforcement. But in your case, maybe those that are just so busy and tied up with law enforcement measures that code enforcement tends to take a back seat. I'm retired law enforcement myself from Central Arizona, and I've done law enforcement in Illinois, Ohio, and Arizona, and at municipal level through county level. And I know for a fact that in every division or every agency I worked with or for, code enforcement tends to be pretty low on priority simply because too many other things are taking up the officer's time. So unless there's an officer that is dedicated to code enforcement, it's something that can fall behind. And then municipal property values begin to drop of course, in the immediate neighborhood, but that also begins to ripple out from where the code enforcement violations are occurring, and eventually can affect large portions of neighborhoods. And what we've designed is simply a program where an officer comes in 2 to 4 hours a week per your necessity, and we will write notices, not citations. We stay within the boundaries of our limits. We don't go on the individual's property without their permission. We do everything we can from street side or sidewalk, depending on what the location has. We take video and photographic evidence. It is all put into a specialized, completely secure app that we utilize that is then transmitted to whomever would be appointed to be the one that would go through those files and determine whether or not further action needs to be taken, if it's a first warning, second warning, etc. If you have a written form you want us to fill out that is a warning, that is not a citation of any kind, anything that would require a certified officer, we're happy to fill those out as well, as long as you authorize us to do so. But again, we're going to stay within the boundaries of what we know we do. We're security officers. My team are security officers, and they know they're security officers. They're not going to try and enforce any laws. They're not going to try and push anything. They're not going to try and, they're not going to talk to people about potential fines, etc., because that is outside the realm of our expertise. Our expertise is simply to observe, report, and document, so that the information can get to the appropriate individuals to determine whether or not further action is needed. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think I have any questions.
When I first came in and spoke with the sergeant, she said that you all had a code enforcement officer a while back who was an auxiliary officer, and that individual is no longer with you. And since then, you've had a difficult time keeping up with some of the code enforcement simply because of the demands of regular law enforcement duties on top of the code enforcement responsibilities. And that's when I decided that I'd like to see if I could speak with you and take a few moments of your time. If you don't have any further questions for me, what I will do, I have about a 3-minute video presentation that I'll give to the chief. He can then forward it to your city clerk, and she can disseminate it to each of you. What I'll do is I'll set that up as a link behind a firewall, because we have to protect our copyrights and such. I'll set it up behind a link behind a firewall with WeTransfer. You don't have to download it. You just click on the view preview, and you can watch it from your secure browser and not have to worry about any security issues with the item itself. And then if you'd like, I'll see if I can get on the schedule for next month, come back and answer any questions that you've come up with between now and then. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Thank you all for your time. And again, I apologize for the media blip back there. I was trying to get it set so that maybe we could Chromecast it to the screen, but it sounds like that would have taken too much time. So I'll have it prepped for you and get it sent within the week, and I'll see you next month.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Okay, discussion and approval for cost of living allowance for employees. What percentage?
at 2%. I second.
Alderman Guerra makes a motion to approve the cost of living allowance for employees at 2.152. Alderman Losh second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Guerra.
Yes.
Alderman Kimball.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The motion to approve the cost of living allowance for employees is approved at 2.152%. Okay, discussion and approval of the lawyer's retirement benefits for employees.
Okay, we currently, since 2010, we've not had a raise on this. And we set it at L7. When I went to the lawyer's meeting, and Ms. Shaw is who I've always worked with, she told me to run this in for an estimate. We can change from an L7 to an L12, which is your first page. And it'll show you what our present plan is, what we're paying now, the alternate plan, which it raised 2.4% increase. And that's what it costs the city. And then if we go to that's the 11.2% plan. If we go to the alternate plan, which is the next page, is 13.9%. That's the cost of the city, roughly additionally $30,000. So that's for all of us. And that would raise us to another 12.
So what's the difference between the first L12 and the second L12?
The percentage.
So they're both L12s then?
Yeah, they're both L12s. And then here's the strange part is if you drop down to an L6, it's a higher percentage. It kind of goes backwards that way. They did not explain it to me. They can't explain it to anybody, it's just how it works. Instead of an L7, if we drop to an L6, we get a bigger increase. And if the L6, and you have to have, you do the final average salary of 3 years for everyone. They'll raise it to 12.7%, which would raise it would cost them roughly $38,000 for everyone. Not, that's a one-time, it's not everybody gets that now. And then if you go to the 15.8%, it raises it up to right at $60,000. And these are estimates. It could go down, it could go up a little bit. Until I put in a formal request, the board has to approve this, then I put in a formal request. They have to approve one of the laws. And then they would do a cost, a standard cost, so we know what it's gonna cost, and we have to do a resolution to it into effect.
So the 3.2% would be like around 30,000 annually.
like you went with the first one, the increase of the 2.4%, which would be 11.2%, that would be per employee. That would, some of it comes out of sewer, some of it comes out of water, general, and PD. Because 10% of my wages come out of, or I'm sorry, 50% of my wages come out of general. Then I split the other 50 in water sewer. And Sean is the same on the percentage with me. And then like utility clerk, she only gets 10% out of general because she does more water sewer than me. And so I split the other 50. And all of Robert's comes out of water, and all of mine comes out of sewer. And all PD comes out of PD. For water sewer and all this, and we're gonna be have to break it down into funds. I do remember me saying something about the L6 is the highest you can go. Even though it's lower, I'm pretty sure you can't go any up. No. And that is huge. You don't think that for each patient, for the bi-weekly. I just thought of that. Yeah, I just thought of that. I have to run a payroll sheet. That's gonna get down. And then they give us. And that's when
What do you think?
I make a motion to approve a 2.4% increase. Yes. 2.4% increase in employer contribution rate for loggers' retirement benefits for the employees.
I see.
Alderman Guerra makes the motion to approve the 2.4% increase in the loggers' retirement benefit for employees. Alderman Campbell second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerra.
Let's go back.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm doing. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Backtrack. Can we, what do I? Nobody's second, nobody even.
Right, wait a second, and she has to take the roll.
Right.
So just start.
Okay, or were you seconded, but we hadn't taken a roll? Very
Okay.
good.
Alderman,
Yes. I make a motion to approve the 3.2% increase in employer contribution rate for loggers' retirement benefits for employees.
I second.
okay, Alderman Guerra makes the motion to approve the 3.2% loggers' retirement benefits for employees. Alderman Campbell second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
The motion to approve the 3.2% increase in loggers' retirement benefits for employees is approved.
Sorry. I was like, no, that's wrong.
All I have to do is.
It is.
Okay, then you can make a motion to go into closed session.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
Alderman Guerra makes a motion to go into close regular session and go into closed session pursuant state. Alderman Losh second the motion. Alderman Arledge.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Guerin.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.